Hello students, I am Dr. Ajay Singh, Assistant Professor at AVES Engineering College, Ghaziabad, under the University Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University. Today, I am going to take a lecture in MBA program on the topic on the subject sales and retail management, and the topic for today's lecture is building sales organization, types of sales organization and their structure. So, basically sales is one of the very key area of any business, and sales organization is a structure, a framework in which a salesperson have to work. So, by the bookish definition, if you will define, a sales organization is a combination of various departments that are jointly responsible for marketing of the products. Means there are three main important factors which are responsible for sales, for the sales people who are looking for. First is the scale of productivity, second is the type of goods to be sold, and third is distributive operations, right. So, basically what kind of goods they are selling, what should be the level of production, because it is the salesperson who is going to decide that what is the demand in the market, and according to the market demand they are going to tell the production department to produce the product according to that. And distribution is very important, because it is how you are going to distribute your product to your end user or to the consumer, right. So, distribution is also important function for any sales organization. So, as a sales organization you have to consider all these three factors. A sales organization defines duties, what are the duties of salesperson, what are roles and responsibilities of salesperson, what are the rights, what are the responsibilities of salespeople engaged in selling activities for proper execution of sales function, right. So, a combination of all these things is sales organization. A sales organization is always tries to increase the sale, it tries to make an effort to increase the sales, thereby achieving the principle of profit maximization, right. So, profit maximization is the objective, you have to increase the objective, you have to generate the revenue, and accordingly you have to work as a team, as an organization, as a structured framework, so that you can deliver your products to the consumer and also generate profit. In the next slide I will discuss the different factors influencing sales structure. The first and foremost important factor is product and service related factors. So, the product is basically based on the product. For example, if you are a salesperson of Hindustan Unilever Limited, right. So, you are selling FMCG product, right. So, you have different category of products, you have soaps, you have detergents, right, you have grocery products. So, basically for example, you are selling soap. So, soap is one product line. In soap you have different categories, where it is a bathing soap, where is a washing soap, right. Similarly, in the case of detergents you have different categories, different means depends upon the ingredients, what is the ingredient of that particular particular detergent. So, depending upon the product you are going to design the sales structure. When you have a very big product line, right, when you have a very big market, when you have a very long very long chain, very long distribution network, especially in the case of FMCG products, then it becomes important to make a structure which is sales structure which is related to product line. And again second important factor is service related factors. The service could be basically what are the benefits you are giving apart from tangible, what are the intangible benefits you are giving to your customers. So, intangible benefits is which creates image of the product, which creates a brand image of the product. So, that is important. Second is organizational related factor. Now, many organization depends they are very focused on their profit, whereas some other organization they are focused on customer base, they want to increase their customer base, they want to increase their market share, whereas some organization they want to make a money, they want to make whereas some organization are very service focused, where they focus on their services, right. So, it depends whether what kind of organization objective is, what kind, whether you are going for a profit or whether you are going for the market or whether you are going for a service. Now, third important is marketing mix related factor. As you all know, as you have already studied in previous semesters about the marketing mix, the four major marketing mix are product, place, price and promotion, right. So, this is the factors, these are the factors which influences the sales structure. If your product line is good, if your product is in demand in the market, then you are going to make your product line. If your pricing is another important factor, because you have to determine the price according to the competitors, Third is promotion. Promotion are the different sales between sales promotions are different sales activities which you perform to increase your sales, such as road shows, such as discounts and offers, such as canopies which you give, which you keep in your malls. So, these are marketing mix, promotion, product, price, place, and place is important. Place is a store where you are selling your product, or a market where you are selling your product. So, this depends whether your product is whether your product is fast moving product, or whether product is your service based product, services, then according to that you can decide the place, according to that you can decide the stores. Now, there are some external factors. What are those external factors? Are the market. Market is beyond your control. External factor means which is beyond your control, which is not in your hand. Market is not in your hand, demand and supply is not in your hand. Supply, as an organization you can supply, but demand is not in your hand, right. So, according to the demand you are going to supply. So, market structures keep on changing. Second is reduction in the number of vendors per buyer. It depends upon the vendor of the buyers, number of the vendors. So, vendors are going to purchase the product, and then they are going to resell the product to the customers. So, it depends upon the vendor management is also very important part of sales. Third is how much you are customer relationship oriented, how much you are close to the customer relationship, right. How you can develop a relationship with your customers, whether you are customer focused, whether you are profit focused. If you are customer focused, you will learn, you will live longer in your business. Now, next point is change in regulation and international practice, government policies, government rules and regulations, international agreements, international trade practices, international laws. These are also very important for any of the product or any of the organization to survive in the market. So, these are the factors which will be influencing the sales structure. Now, there are different types of sales structure, as you have already studied in your first semester in your principal practices of management, the different line structure, the different types of organization structure. In this lecture, I will try to relate those types of sales organization with respect to sales. The first is the line sales organization, the second is the line and staff sales organization, the third is functional sales organization, the fourth is committee sales organization, and next is divisional structure. This is the kind of structure that based on the different divisions in an organization. What are the different structure? What are the different segments in an organization is this? What are the different divisions in an organization is this? According to which you are going to decide, right. So, I am going to cover these organizations in very detail. The very first is the line organization. The line organization is the oldest type. It is basically used in a smaller firm where you need the control, where you need the authority, where you have a small selling force, right. Some small companies which is having a turnover of 10-20 crores, then in that case there are few numbers of salesperson and there is a single manager, or there is a 2 or 3 managers, and they are managing their sales team. So, they are ordering their salesperson, and salesperson are executing, and they are getting the desired results, they are getting the desired revenue. This limitation restricts to narrow product line in limited geographical area, means the product line is limited, the products are limited, you do not have many number of products, you have 1 or 2 products which you are going to sell in the market, right. So, limited number of products are there, then it is easy for you to go for line organization. All executives have line authority, and each subordinate is responsible only to one higher up, means the higher your immediate boss, your immediate superior is responsible, and he is the authoritative person who is going to be monitoring you, who is going to be giving the direction to you, and you will be giving the feedback you will be giving the reports, daily reports to your immediate boss, immediate superior. Now, they have fixed in this kind of organization, they have fixed responsibilities, and salesperson directly report to the chief sales executive. The responsibilities are clear cut. There is no confusion, because the structure organization is small and structures organization is small, and basically number of peoples are less. So, clarity is there, right. Line of authority and responsibility are clear and logical, very clearly, everything is very clear, everything is transparent and very logical, and nothing so confusing. You can ask any confusion, you can ask to your immediate boss, and accordingly you can react. Not appropriate when there is large, it is not appropriate for large organization. For small organizations, for smaller number of people, this is very effective, and this is a vertical organization. The vertical organization, I mean to say, is first, for example, this is a vertical organization. The vertical organization is basically, for example, the president, the owner of any company, the owner of any company is Mr. Ratnakar Sethi, is president or owner of company, right. So, he is the topmost authority. He has hired, he has Mr. Chandrakant, he is vice president sales, right. He is going to, he is going to look after the sales, and he is having the 5 salesperson who is reporting directly to the vice president. So, this is kind of vertical structure, this is called line organization, right, from top to bottom. The authorities are clear, the responsibilities are clear, and the executives are going to work according to the instructions given by the immediate authority. So, it is a formal and coordinated task, it is a very formal structure and very coordinated. Second is territories are assigned, means they are given the geographical areas, the locations are already decided, and according to that they can perform the sales. Salesperson can do the sales with very clear cut instructions. Establishing a flow of communication and responsibility of sales group and individuals to customer effectively. So, basically individual salesperson is responsible to communicate with the customer, they will go into the market, they will sell the product to the customer, and they will perform their duties. Whatever the challenges they are facing, what are the difficulties they are facing, they are going to discuss with the immediate boss, and they have to get the resolution. So, there is no such very big organization that they have to complain to some other people, some other department, and some other department will take a time. It's a very immediate, it's a very formal, and it's a very easy method, and for a small, suitable for small organizations. Now, second is the line and staff organization. This is basically a combination of both, in which you have to move vertically also, and horizontally peoples or experts are there to help you out. I will show you with a diagram in the next slide, but before that I will just brief you about what is line and staff organization. So, and where it is used. So, line and staff organization is basically used in large and medium size enterprises or organizations which are having very diversified product lines, large number of products are there, big organizations, big multinational companies, they are having different product lines, wider coverage across the globe, they are having the coverage. So, that is the where line and staff, you have to use the mix blend of both line and staff organization. It provides the top sales executive with a group of specialists and experts. Specialists and experts are there to guide you, right. The staff recommendations are submitted to top executives, right, and after approval transmit necessary instructions to the line organization. This also gives the staff executive time to study the problem before recommendation. So, it's again a very formal structure for a big organization, for big product line, and that delegation is given to the head of the department. Head of the department is going to be responsible for his team, for his leading. This is one of the, graphically I am going to illustrate how you can how a line and staff organization works. Now, the very first is sales manager. Now, sales manager, he is the topmost position for a sales. He is going to plan everything about the product, about the company, about the region, about everything. So, he is the topmost authority, right. And market forecaster, market forecaster is basically a staff. Market forecaster is he is supporting the sales manager. He is not interfering, he is not guiding, he is only just advising as an expert. He is trying to understand the market and he is trying to support the sales manager to take his decisions. So, the role of staff in this line staff organization is just to support that the concerned authority. They do not interfere into the matters, into the jurisdiction of sales manager. So, to just only guide them, they just only tell them that what are the do's and don'ts, and according to that you can take the decision. Now, the sales manager give the instructions to these people. They may be the training director, regional sales manager, and regional sales manager A, regional sales manager B, region A, region B, region C, and they are followed by different salesperson. So, different sales people are in the sales manager. So, this is a line. This is basically how topmost how the topmost authority is giving the direction to their sales people, and how sales manager and how sales manager are managing the sales people, and these people are just advising them, giving the direction so that they can take the decisions, right. So, this is how line and staff organization works. In many of the bigger organizations, in FMCG, in bigger companies which are having Fortune 500 companies, they use basically combination of line and staff organization. Now, next is there are another two categories of organizational structure. One is functional sales organization structure, and another is committee sales organization structure. Now, the functional sales organization structure is basically it depends upon the function or core team is responsible for taking any decision. So, it is based on the concept that each individual in an organization, executive and employee, should have few distinct duties. They, for example, there are different departments, marketing department is there, sales department is there, sales promotion department is there, advertisement department is there. So, these are different functions which experts in advertisement, experts in sales purpose. Ultimately, objective of all the people is to sell a product, to make the customers aware. So, different functions are there, advertisement is there, sales promotion is there, publicity, word of mouth is there, right, and so these are the different functions. Marketing department is there, which is creating creating awareness among the customers. Advertisement department is there. So, they are looking for their functions, but overall everyone is responsible for the sales of the product. So, sales people receive instruction from several executives, but on different aspects on the work. Also, a sales executive who is responsible for sales of the product maybe he need a help from operation department, maybe he needs a help from finance department, maybe he needs an help from inventory or stock department, control department, right. So, every time billing and operations department, because salesperson he is the first person who is looking after the product, who is looking after the customer. So, he has to be in touch with all the specialists, all the different functional heads. So, that functional department, function of the department, so that he can effectively sell the product and communicate with the customers. All specialists have line authority and they have function authority, right. So, all specialists they are having their subordinates, and subordinates are they are giving the instruction subordinate are reacting according to that. They have a great improved performance, the performance improves, right, because when you work as a team, when you work as an integrated team, your performance is always improved, because everyone is interconnected, everybody is supporting each other, and everybody is trying to promote the sales, push forward the sales, and immediately action is taken, immediately execution is done. It is not feasible for small and medium size firms. It is basically for a bigger firm, for bigger, right. Similarly, the committee sales organization in which the committee is formed. The committee is a group of expert, group of people who take decisions. If you have certain product line, for example, you have a TV, you have cameras, you have different electronic products. So, experts of cameras, experts of TV, experts of LEDs, they are going to take decisions, because they are into selling from a longer period of time. So, they have expertise in that, selling that particular product, right, LCD projector for example. So, in that case there is a specific set of the people who are going to sell. So, that is basically committee sales organization. It is an executive group plan policies formulation, while implementation of plans and policies is done by individual executives. Now, divisional structure is another kind of structure which is based on different divisions in the department. These divisions are based on the basis of product type, market or customer type, territory or territorial type, product cum territorial type, and functional type, right. So, product type based on the product, for example, in HUL you have two products, that is soap and detergent. So, product manager for soap and product manager for detergent. Now, product manager is having the sales manager of sales, matlab soap sales manager, soap sales soap training manager and soap promotion manager. Similarly, detergent sales manager, detergent training manager and detergent promotion manager. So, this is the kind of design by product, right. Next is design by customer according to the customer, whether it is a industrial customer, whether it is a wholesaler, whether it is a retailer. So, president of the company is going to direct vice president of the company, line organization there, then followed by different units, maybe a corporate sales, maybe a industrial sales, maybe a wholesaler, retailer and followed by salesperson. So, this is designed by customer. Next is design by territory. Design by territory is basically regional, region wise, geographical area, district wise, state wise. So, vice president of the marketing, he is going to instruct national sales manager, and then you have divisional sales manager in north, east, west, south, and according to that you have your own team of sales manager which is heading in east, and they are looking for east region. Similarly, divisional manager north is looking for north. Similarly, divisional manager for west is looking for west, and south is looking for south. So, I was discussing about design by management function. So, design by management function is basically a combination of staff function and line function, right. For example, vice president marketing, some person he is vice president marketing, he is responsible for overall marketing of the department. Let us take an example, let us take an example of an electronic product, right. Electronic product, you have, let us suppose you have projectors. Now, you are going to sell the projectors, or second you are going to sell a cameras, right. Third electronic device is you are going to sell, you know, you are going to sell maybe high end products such as laptop, right. So, these are different digital electronic electronic products you are going to sell. Now, what you require is you need a staff. A staff is the staff function, the role of staff function is to provide the role of an expert. So, you need a marketeer who can provide you the expert, as an expert he can provide you the knowledge, and the line function is basically the support people who are going to give to your top to your immediate boss. So, this is a combination of staff and line function. In a staff function, what do you have? In a staff function, you have advertisement and sales promotion manager. So, advertisement and sales promotion manager, he is responsible for creating for ad for different product, for cameras, for these projectors, right, for laptop. So, they have to create advertisement, so that the eye catching, it could be eye catching for the people, it could be eye catching for the customer. Most of the time you just go to, for example, you go to Flipkart or Amazon, you see that yes, some advertisement is coming, you will if there is any new product launch of any laptop. So, you will see that yes, that laptop the features are demonstrated by a short video of 30-40 minutes, 30-40 seconds, in which you are trying to demonstrate the product, the product design, the product configuration, how much RAM it is having, how much how much is the display size, what processor is Qualcomm, what processor is that, i5, i7, or what generation, which generation processor is that, right. So, all the features are highlighted, how much how its looks are. So, it is very eye catching. As a sales promotion manager or as an advertisement manager, you should be the person is responsible for creating eye catching ad and promoting the product. It should look as this is a must buy product for a customer. Next is sales manager. Sales manager task is sales manager is again sales manager is reporting to the vice president marketing. So, it is working as a line organization. So, he is immediately reporting to his vice president marketing. So, he is responsible for the sales of LCD projector, he is responsible for the sales of cameras, he is responsible for the sales of laptop. So, he is having a team of different people, 20 sales people under his subordination. So, these 20 people maybe 5 people are responsible for sales of projector, 5 people are responsible for sales of camera, and maybe 10 people are responsible for the sales of laptop, because it is more demanding product. So, you can categorize number of the sales people on the basis of the demand, on the basis of the demand in the market. So, every sales as a sales manager, you have assigned different people in different region, different areas, and they are going to meet the customers, individual customers. They might be meeting the meeting the corporate peoples or industrial peoples, they might be meeting a retail customers, they might be dealing with the retailers, they might be dealing with the carrying and forward agents. So, all these people they are meeting. Next is manager marketing research. Now, this is a kind of the kind of expert who is giving who is assessing the market, who is clearly understanding the needs of the customer. His job is to regularly take a feedback, to collect a questionnaire and to collect responses from the customer feedbacks, so that they can they can get the right reviews, and people and they can suggest as a market researcher, he can that person can suggest to the company about the changes which is required, what are the future products they are required. This is only possible because a dedicated team is required which carries on R&D on the regular basis, which keeps on being consulting the company on the regular basis. So, that is a combination. So, any of the sales structure is only organized structure is only possible when it is able to do all, as I have discussed in the first slide, meet his sales profitability. He is responsible for the profitability, he is responsible for the increase in the market share and he is responsible for growth of the market and customer base. So, that is only possible when you work through a structure organization. That may be a line organization, that may be a line staff organization. If some big organization is there, you can go through line staff organization. If small organization is there, then you can go through only line organization. And if some experts are required in every domain, then you can go for functional teams. You can have experts functional team functional sales team structure, and finally, you can also have product based structure. Product based structure, when you have a huge demanding product in FMCG products or huge demanding products in some electronic equipments, then you can go product wise. You can have a product manager, you can have a product manager A, you can have a product manager B, who is responsible for some particular product. For example, in case of HUL, as I already told, soap product, detergent product, paste, toothpaste product. So, all this is a big product line, and which is having a wider customer base. So, that is possible only through through product based structure. Next is your organization based structure. Organization depends organization to organization depend, that whether you are profit oriented, whether you are customer oriented, according to that, and what model you are following, according to that you can develop. So, basically what I want to conclude is a structure, sales structure is kind of a formal hierarchy, where each salesperson is going to be responsible for creating the image of the for creating the brand image of the particular product and selling the product and ultimately generating the revenue. So, that becomes important for any of the combinations you can use. You can use as a single combination or you can use multiple combination of these structures. So, that is all. Thank you.